ma odidi bo a o man wo ko na ni ko si na fro wa yu ku ni chechere ne ma bia na ni ko so ni ja obretu ni ku kodu fo eja wo mu anku ni ma ba aguna na na wiri kwa ba akasa no makasa french wo bie na no a wo bo ajo asana na ho fe bia wo ni bono so a wo wira cheche wo ko ni ba ni na sene ni ba ejo no bi no anta bia eja wo mu ana mi di asem asa chiri na no mpa no asem eja wo mu aso bia ba wo do man ko mo ba de ehye yen se yen ni za wo so eni je ni agrewo
and no any numbers are no pay your day a year Juma in the studio and come through with your messages and then we'll do our best to read them out to the hearing of the word and Brad, where the expectations met, we are okay so far. Provisions are in the first budget of a year, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Is this something you expected and I say you anticipated? Ninyina abemwana stay with us na yene wo eni enkomo Bernardo Dro Techi a chartered economist and a member of the National Democratic Congress. I don't pay what Nasi studio meneno eba ababedi enkomo. But before I remember BOT so no my main call line so na Mintra Winfrey Hotel na a lot of controversies na no ana ede aba. Dr. Kubi Boating a president Ghana Association of Sports Betting Operators na meneno eni enkomo. Doc, I don't pay what time come Pacho. Good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho na empomboko there.
Nyamiadom bibia boko.
Very well. Yeah, that's your papa say anope waje so ewo Kessben. So now many Ghanaians were expecting say the betting levy ebetimi every horse said ebeya ebeboa mojuma amoye na afei so the many Ghanaian people are patronizing mojuma dia hodo no. Women should have some level of respite. Concerns again is that in the previous government, it was never implemented. Say your betting tax at the free winnings customers do no enya so. First of all, Mamintio na yeni enkomo meaning say na president of the association. Sa enkomo saying they see etiankasa.
Good morning. One more time, and I'm me taking this opportunity to greet all your listeners. Right. Pacho, question now beside no man 10 year umusa.
Yes, me bisa says so we want to clarify. Oh, Debbie, Dr. Boateng will come back on the line shortly. Na yenene disankomo. We need some level of clarity and we'll get back to him. Na yeneno I have that conversation. Now, Utie former finance minister, Ora Amin Adama, or no HRS Abaye Tremono never implemented a year the betting levy. And it cannot be, sir, and the finance minister said one more abolish it. We just want to clarify the issues and then let you know what is really happening in that particular sector. Winnings on lottery, that was the levy na abai edge. But before I doc beba no mama BOT ache na memano akwaba bi matching.
Mr. Speaker, I also back Kessben.
Nah. We have a god here.
Yeah.
Very well. But I mean, the doc na membra so. Doc, but what menka? Yes, not me bisase mona moye operators within a year this particular sector. Industry amu me betting. Mona moye the key players. Now we were told that there were indications. I mean, betting tax uwinia na yateo kakra edie free. About that, no finance minister said they never implemented such a policy. Is that really the case? And now what actually transpired?
No, that was an absurd statement. I mean, he knows very well that the tax was implemented, and what it is that last year, 2023, we paid almost 58 million on the tax.
58 million
cities.
Okay.
Right? Because we started very late. I think we started somewhere around August. And then in 2024, we paid almost close to 158 million on that. Now, what the previous finance minister is confusing himself with, you see, national lottery, where for some reason argued their point strongly, right? And for that reason, National Lottery was exempted from paying the withholding tax.
Okay.
I think Samia Uku made this statement.
There was a release to that effect.
Yes, yes, he made that statement. And when Uncle Fubi confused because the withholding tax was on the gaming industry, which includes the National Lotteries, you know, because the National Lotteries were, for some two arguments which I don't want to go into here, were exempted from it, you know. Some people assume that the betting tax was never collected. No, it was collected. I think GRA will substantiate this if you were to interview someone from there.
Okay, so how was it done? I mean, how was it implemented entirely? Were you withholding the taxes on behalf of government? And then at what point were you paying back into the government coffers?
Okay. You see, when this tax was initiated, you know, in the budget, you know, actually it was stated that the tax should be withheld after every transaction. You understand? But the operators found out that technically that was not going to be possible. I mean, it was a janjantua way of going to collect the tax, and it was going to affect the way of play, because we normally do almost close to about 16 million individual transactions, you know, coming through within any particular second. You can imagine that. So if every transaction, those that are going through the virtual, you know, aviator 1 second a year, now you take tax, it was going to cause a lot of confusion.
Okay.
So we came up with this kind of arrangement with them that we will only deduct the withholding time at the point of withdrawal. Let's say what future games, you know, who play, one win, one lose, one win, one lose. Yeah, we will not do anything. But at the time you are going to move your money from this thing into your Momo wallet, you know, which we call the withdrawal. That was the point we deducted the 10% tax. Yeah.
And so clearly, I mean, the policy was implemented.
Yes, it was clearly implemented. It was really implemented. And I think the telcos are aware of it, as I said, because at that point, you know, the documents are there to show me clearly that, and if any audit is done with any betting company, they will surely see that it was deducted. I think he didn't get his facts right, and as I said to you, he mistakenly complicates the National Lottery not paying their 10%. And you see, let me go one point. The reason why the National Lotteries were exempted from it was for two reasons.
Okay.
It is a Ghana government transactional staff, right? And the point was, how do you withhold against the Ghana government? Your Ghana government is putting money in something, collecting for the benefit of the nation, and then you are withholding tax for it. That was one. Two, because of the banker to banker, there were a lot of illegalities in there. Okay. If they were to impose the 10% on national lottery, it means a lot of people that were on the national lottery will run away to the banker to banker people, obviously. Right. So I think the government looked at it from that angle and said, okay, we are exempting you guys from it. But with us, it wasn't.
Very well. Now, how did that affect your operations? And then, now that it's been abolished, as we are told by the finance minister, are you going to have some level of respite?
Interestingly, Tama Omode levy, when it was initially proposed, there was a lot of panic within the betting arena. Operators that, wow, this is really going to affect our revenue, and therefore the revenue that was going to go to the government, right? But with the implementation, interestingly, we realized that in economics, I think they would say something like what we call inelastic demand. That is how cigarettes and alcohol are. You think you are imposing tax on it to reduce behavior. It didn't. You understand? Even when it did, it was really insignificant. And we have data also to prove and show that at a point, it even customer participation did increase in some way. Okay, right. So although we initially, all of us, if you realize the time it was imposed, there was a lot of noise from customers and from us. So at a later point, it looked like everything died down. Even the NEPA died down. So yes, in that regard, I don't think it impacted on both the government side. It might have gone up a little bit because of the revenue that was generated, but obviously anything that is taken out of a customer is not something that we do welcome. Well, I hope you understand, right? Whether it's 1 CD, 10 CDs, or 20 CDs, I don't think it was right for it to be done. But in terms of its impact on the industry, I wouldn't say that it did. And if it was, as some of them were advocating, that the tax will stop people from betting, that also did not achieve its end, right? But obviously, because it was in the manifesto of both governments, I think they had to implement.
Yes, and now that it's been abolished, I mean, what do you look forward to?
You see, in a way, the operators are also happy because of one or two, I think, objectives which we feel that this is going to achieve, right? One, again, is going to have confidence, reassurance of customers' confidence, right? And then two, you see, this allowed illegal operators from overseas to penetrate our market, right? What do we mean by that? Because those people offshore were saying that, you can bet on our sites and then you are not paying anything, any withholding tax. So a lot of them mushroomed, almost bedorsum. In our system, I think, and it started eating into the monies that we're paying to the government and that sort of thing. So, telling this withholding tax thing is a very, very, very big plus, on us. And also, within the industry, we felt that some people were not actually paying their fair share of what should go to the government. Understand? And therefore, abolishing it totally becomes a fairer place for all of us to operate, right?
Very well. And so if I got you right, I mean, in 2023, you paid an amount of 58 million Ghana cedis, to government, in terms of withholding taxes, those that you took from customers. And then in 2024, you did around 158 million Ghana cedis as well.
Yes.
Very well. Look, I must say I'm grateful for your time this morning.
No worries.
We'll speak to you again. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Okay, I'm always around.
Thank you. You're most welcome. And that is Dr. Kobe Boateng, President at the Ghana Association of Sport Betting Operators. One more year operators of companies ahodoa a trap bet no in now. He's confirmed. Operations, in fact, there was an implementation of the policy. 2023, or say, or more each year, 58 million Ghana cedis ana edema abai. In 2024, or more each year, 158 million Ghana cedis ana edema abai. In terms of taxes, one more etete, now withholding because one more take from source at the point of payment, and sana one more etetiana accumulate here one more to me a transfer ni nyina no e dia ma ban bi oti atena se mame emma na che na me ma na kwaba bi. Good morning, it is saying.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
We are fine.
Sure.
Party moti saying abai moti saying.
That's because I'm in chair what for na Ghana 40 trillion NDC members in I have to be very honest, per the budget statement, the economic policy I can and run. It's never a regret to me, one, being a member of the NDC and being part of the 2024 victory. Because, Mr. Speaker, in the next 4 years, we will go back to the people.
Yes.
And you come back to Ghana for anymore.
That will be the time for
it will be accountability. And all baby will be a campaign. In the next 4 years, you are not going to give promises. You go to account to the people. And so far, various segments of the manifesto.
Yes.
Within the 120 days of the government, about 80% of social contractor, say, 120 days here, and we are delivering.
Okay.
And for me, I love Toknadu government. What is Toknadu? It means when you talk, you do. And you must always learn to walk your talk. I see the NDC nomenclature want the party and the government to say, per this particular 2025 fiscal year budget, the NDC is walking a talk.
Okay.
Until I see it to be a walking a do budget. So besides I'm title the budget now, I'll refer to the 2025 budget statement economic policy of the NDC government that a walking a do budget. Walking a do budget because so far, Mr. Speaker, your manifesto way now review pound for pound, page for page. You realize say budget we now NDP for comatose. And I'm not surprised. Oma comatose. Oma coma. Nenye coma.
Isn't it early days yet?
No, it's not early days yet. Sure. Dr. Amin Anta writes, the immediate past finance minister of the government of the MPP. Immediately after say a kind budget, impose betting tax. We are never even deducting it. Look, yes, because I didn't know Papa Anone an administrator in the betting industry.
He's the president for the Ghana Association.
So president.
Yes.
And
national president.
Even ignore NDC so they can say NDC crown propaganda. But this particular man corroborated the budget statement to say one, in 2023, there was a deduction of 58 million Ghana cedi.
All the betting campaign,
which was a withholding tax.
Yes.
And you see, withholding tax be any 2 year thing. The entire 2 year thing say you can say to sika so easy. But Mr. Speaker, can say to sika bom at a goa. It is very tough. And to be a with me 2 year withholding tax no or you're honest in terms of individual and as a corporation.
Okay.
2023, 58 million Ghana cedi was paid as withholding tax, betting withholding tax. 2024, it came here, Omodianya Sisifia 38.2. No, Omutua 104 million Ghana cedi. 158 million Ghana cedi. And it's a way immediate past finance minister. Now, shortly after reading a budget statement, one tobo, uni facts, uni data ye, one year research ye. Not just say, finance minister will cry near one, now what done in Guabonting. I'm tempted to believe, say, so no a real finance minister not in charge of the finance ministry there. And now Ghana was naked.
And I'm sure sir Andrew quickly now he made a press conference of that nature.
You know what? You see, Mr. Speaker, I am a desert Ghana for any NDC PAM MPP are buying. Imagine MPP still being in power. Will this man ever be truthful? And the NRA budget statement, I show clearly say the immediate past finance minister was not honest to Ghanaians. Now, so what you understand, in the space of less than 2 years, 58 plus 158, a whooping 206 million Ghana cedi.
And when you're from betting tax.
What a betting withholding tax of 206 million Ghana cedi in 2 fiscal year. You hold a press conference just after budget reading and say with all sense of certainty and confidence, say, we never deducted a betting tax. And my question is, Sikano or Hene? Now, so you're finance minister, and don't forget, finance minister Biano, GRA, Bank of Ghana, Security Exchange Commission, and most financial regulatory organization in the country, they report to him. Bank of Ghana governor report to finance minister.
Yeah.
GRA report to finance minister. And it's a GRA, I shall say, or report it to you, monthly basis, quarterly basis. And to me, and brief you say, what better withholding tax of 206 million Ghana cedi. Tetisikano, a 2060 billion old Ghana cedi. New Ghana cedi 260. I can say, Ghana was naked under this finance. But we need something. Maakye will say, budget now you can in run.
Yeah. From
purely economic point of view, a forward-looking budget. A budget, so we shemu ya. A tram mining can cook for that. Number 2, it's a progressive budget. A budget, it is not taking the nation back. And yet retrogressive in nature. It's not a regressive budget. It is purely a progressive budget because the rich will pay more, the poor will have a breather. Until here na otua ye levy. Now complaining. Now the ye levy will go. So the poor will have a breathing space, but the rich will also pay to support the poor. Number 3, it's the developmentally oriented budget. A budget as a one in a year in terms of development nomenclature, no, a trade the minor baby a direction of the money. Number 4, the budget is decentralized. It's decentralized because unlike MPP aban na omo cap so many statutory funds you can say cap ne say who get fund who road fund who educational get fund at the end of the day say who get fund levy the chair say fasika no kwhye nwomasuam and the MPP government so omo get fund no matter so no more centralize wo Accra into obiti bono ahafo bono east northeast savannah nisuku danyabu insese get fund this ikabe kon get fund na ye to eje e de Ghana education trust fund ya capo NDC say we are going to encap statutory funds this is national health insurance levy get fund road fund esla any other fund bia ye de mra na ahye na ye chebo taya ye de ye no we are going to uncap statutory funds mfaso e de beba ne say it will create readily available funds for national development. They try to all-inclusive in character budget. The budget is all-inclusive in character budget. What it means, they say, for example, union ma yedi dem, and that's almost university or free. Number 2, obi bia free every part of the country. Obenya admission to public university and tertiary institution no. The first year fees obetuano free. The toss will be OBB or backward from level 200 to the final year. No, there's going to be student loan trust fund plus. Some fast one say, Babe Buama will be adding home. And it's how far the 2025 budget and economic policy are. One is forward looking, is progressive, developmentally oriented, decentralized, and all inclusive in character. And you see, Adia Bakon Yamide woman, say, my year disaggregation of the various component baby a budget neko. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Number 1, the big push. The big push ebenya 13.85 billion Ghana cedi. It means a lot of infrastructural projects shall be continued. President Naka say on pray no ho and starting new project. But any other existing project be here completion no, the big push infrastructure development no was allocated 13.85 billion.
Source of funding no every here for.
I'll come to that. Number 2, 499 million Ghana cedi for free academic fee and also tertiary education scholarship for person living with disability. Into be awarded them. The very moment you obtain admission to tertiary institution, no, you are going to enjoy it from level 100 to your final year free of charge. Number 3, 845.5 million Ghana cedi allocation to support victims of Akosomo Dam spillage. Ubekaya, Akosomo Dam ye be ya manfo fee ni ade say ye no. MPP aban never give a heck. NDC say look, obi Akosomo Dam spillage affect wa brabon.
But somewhere last year, finance minister said we make a allocation.
And did they go?
So what actually transpired? What happened?
And when the church say NDC aban drain any before. Enti yenu anu Akosomo Dam spillage those in the Volta Oti Eastern region part of Ashanti are affected no 242.5 million Ghana cedi. Now again going forward no tidal waves yenu anu man and say ya Ketu South and Mpatamu tide waves no air chema no 200 million is allocated for that and this is commendable. Number 6 allocation for secondary education obekaya campaign time. One of the biggest propaganda MPP did too. And say, oh, His Excellency Mahama Ba, Obe cancel free SHS, Obe Seno, and to the MPP review meant cancellation. And now I say no, the budget alone, one of the biggest, the second biggest allocation, according to education, 3.5 billion Ghana cedi for free SHS. And to be our santimemo, bonomemo, or stream. Or from Mantemu, Finfrimantemu. There, yeah, what dream say NDC Abambe free SHS. No, this budgetary allocation corroborate our position. Say we will rather improve free SHS. Number 7, 564 million allocation for curriculum-based textbooks. Obekaya MPP are buying appens on school headmasters. Complaining say you hear textbooks so you hear curriculum textbooks so it never happened. NDC say. Textbooks na mo kuhu amunya o kasanso ebe transfer we you no we have allocated 564 million Ghana cedi again allocation for school feeding program. And not only that, you're increasing school feeding program and the allocation is 1.788 billion Ghana cedi into school feeding program they can ya top up amount no the tosumi no the budgetary allocation for school feeding is also one they do hope you allocation for capitation grant capitation grant so elementary school level can't teacher na you 2 years sports fee cultural fee no ye twemu and the capitation buy most headmasters across the country it may be 2 years na capitation grant enko and this year buying say for 2025 fiscal year no 145.5 million Ghana cedi capitation grant allocation. The other hope you allocation for teacher training allowance. Obekaya campaign. MPP can say NDC bar teacher training allowance on become in some then say 203 million Ghana cedi allocation for the payment of teacher training allowance. We are some papa. They are also 11.
What it means is that government will continue to pay the allowance
precisely
to teacher training.
Precisely.
One more called training
and to be our training college. The MPP did propaganda. Say, ye betwem no. And some there now resetting budget in my banner say 203 million Ghana cedi for allowance for teacher training. They are also 11. 480 million allocation for payment of nursing training allowances. And here you are monkey to a nursing training college, you know. I have 480 million. And MPP for propaganda. Mo catch a Ghana for say nursing training allowance ye betwem no. And the budget not just say 480 million allocation for that.
But in all of this, BOT, this is mere allocation.
I'm coming there.
Yes, and appropriation is a different thing.
Because where the money will come from.
A time, no source of
money. I assembly do. One more TFO and TNM Manke. They are also number 12. 909.9 billion for health. Apomodin kwa. MPP propaganda says this year bar
9.93
billion for health,
national health insurance,
into health insurance and Maakye. Into Maakye now your car say primary health be free, you know. And MPP for say propaganda. Mahama Timon ye or ye dwanfunu. And ne so far budget ni na the highest allocation aya pomodin. Mr. Speaker, health is wealth. Obi o wa pomodin bia no wo nkwa wo ade. Enti apomodin kwa me no wa pomodin. Any obi or him in the true Kessben 9.93 billion Ghana cedi, which they say
that is the highest.
The highest. Look, on my view of prioritizing health, education, agriculture is a nation to die for. And under 2025 NDCM budget, 9.93 billion for health insurance and Maakye. And Maakye, they say primary health care will be free. They are also 13. 2.81 billion allocation for Ghana Road Fund. And the road fund of MPP government, they cap it. Into Omoji road fund ni wia na kenufrata tiskana so ukromu kwanye pothole aba yentin dualize kwan NDC aban say for 2025 fiscal year no 2.81 billion Ghana cedi for road fund allocation. They did hope you this assembly common fund 7.51 billion, the second highest allocation. Yeah. And local government here NDC ejapade NDC say apart from health, the second highest allocation, Kwame Appiah Kubi. Until now, me no say no. You dissolve all development authority. Coastal development is gone. Middle development bed is gone. Assembly for Juma. Look, DCU, Sunyani West, Sunyani East, Doma Central. What's my creative media development authority? And Tisika nke what's your MMDC for no? Nesika development authority. And Chotenim Pachamu.
But say no was assigned to specific project. And Mama nin loki as if say the Akoba Medal Belt.
It was wrong. It was wrong.
Authority. I mean, there were priority projects.
Mr. Speaker, setting out special development ministry under Howard Kumsen was totally illogical. Nanyansa bienim. Wouldn't the entire.
Oh, Jansa Ben and any.
Me
special initiative. Then the ambulances.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, Samimi to Sunyani West. Me ball and nya minim. Me so nya minim. Ni po nim o how a unit committee assemblyman DC. O say DC no ti Sunyani West no. Onim fear prince ya trechra Kwabena Kuma kwetira de ntiabo for how. Number Medi Development Authority CEO bi or not baby nim there. Then you are wrong as a president.
No, that was not the context for which the developer here. The context was that Abaimbia were priority project or person oye.
Okay.
Now out of the priority project, the development authorities were supposed to undertake a research in the respective regions and then coastal areas so to see say at least certain priority projects are buying in those enclaves.
Okay.
I mean, the authorities will take charge in terms of the initiative. And also did not take away the common fund
article 240 of the Ghana Constitution, which I can permit me to reference. Title: Decentralization in Local Government. Ghana shall have a system of local government and administration which shall, as far as practical, be decentralized. And it's a woman patemu. Me wo DC regional minister. What's my better coastal development authority? And te drumrebia, sanani regional minister for Kasa, they were not happy. Adentia, they will serve their functionalities. And this is there be. Yeah, they ba yeah bano. Yeah, good old development authority. Sika was a kohon, yeah, they brow DC. Mfaso ebe free mabanye.
It is not as if say DC is near and try and test one model. In the past years, to common fund. In NDC 1 under John Mahama, we were paying under the same model. But at the end of what were the MMDC able to use the monies for? Yet we didn't have the ambulance. It took special initiative. And some ambulances.
Na no mo ma na jo so na ba ko ba nwuye e na asem kopie o King Solomon anim e na de na ne ba wu a ba ko ba nwuye nka se o akola na ye de na ba King Solomon o ye ntwa ne mu e na de ye ne ba kan ka se da bi nana sa akola ye be kunu pa ha de e na unim fa akola na mama me wi King Solomon hu se da bi sa akola na onya nwuye e ye mama wi ba de wa wo no ba ne nim de ne ba ne setie. Decentralization ye NDC ba is the baby of the NDC. Inti ye be hu aye ni ye de hobi o memre so agriculture 1.5 billion for agriculture. Inti ye didie mu wo hwa budget allocation for Ministry of Agriculture, allocation for agriculture for economic transformation agenda, which is ITA, 1.5 billion, which is a kuyeduma
right?
Esa, but cocoa board allocation will also be added up. The other hope you allocation seed fund for some women development bank. And the women development bank na ye born who there na man force and this to me nye a propaganda no 51.3 million Ghana cedi. The last but two allocation for national apprenticeship program. Nsanu juma suya. Ye nuanu ma sabi o mu ama ntimi anko university ma me professor anya doctor o pese o ye mason tibo mechanic no 300 million Ghana cedi which re o say NDC national nyantete yanko a what to when we go use seed capital into sua adwuma wi a obenya chop money through that ye be ma wo mfidie wo sampon ho na pese wankasa obie wadwuma NDC will give you seed capital to set up. There will be allocation for adwuma rural policy and entrepreneurship. Obi wo ho anya obi a na pese oya aban adwuma. People want to be self-employed. Enti obi a oye babu na pese wa obie wadwuma na oni wadwuma no eno so 100 million Ghana de twato national coders program. Ye nuanu ma ICT money je ho ye modern de twato pay ye me dey assembly members common fund 100 million Ghana de chese Ghana opo mo brewa amamu mu pay assembly members because obeyiri timi him or say me ko assemblyman ho for the since 1989 obi an carry assembly members so and this advance for the very first time each month no 1,300 Ghana cedi allowance into assembly member bia o hemene so we NDC we CPP we GUM we MPP pro assemblyman or woman no fa hye utimu say NDC adwen wo ho ahunu say assembly members kwa yi omo bonsa omo ko adoren amanfo de hauba moye street light moye gutter NDC say for every month no assembly members enya kra no no less than 1,000 Ghana. In a year you are talking about 12,000 Ghana cedi per assembly member. That should tell you say e bam patamu amamu a NDC tia say de twa to bi sa me say sa niema we nyina yaka no sika no hefa na be den e be fraba. Mr. Speaker, I'm for Uncle page 2 of the budget statement.
Me too.
And it reads, Mr. Speaker, with this budget, I will also be seeking a review of the Flame Act to support the policies of government aimed at stabilizing the economy and promoting inclusive growth. The actually say, some act of parliament that the DC Cabra man, we are going to do amendments. Okay. Number one here, Petroleum Revenue Management Acts will be amended. Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Act will be amended. Mineral Income Investment Fund Act will be amended.
What does it take away?
Revenue and the expect free one will go up without bringing burden to the local person. Because, for example, so far, Revenue Management Act now, Petroleum Revenue Act to oil in commercial quantity, they made a bigger profit. And to say review this particular Management Act now, the source of revenue in the form of tax. Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Act. But
that means you are going to overburden the industry.
No, not really. But we will find a way to make sure that the revenue is increased. Number 3, Mineral Income Investment Fund.
Where's the means?
But
questions,
Mineral Income Investment Fund. Energy Sector Levy Act. Ghana Cocoa Board Act. Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Act. What it means, they say, funds be my capu ye in the past, get fund, road fund, whatever fund, nesi can cry no. Say the capu na ye on capua, it will make money available. Number 3, a Public Procurement Authority Act, Ghana Education Trust Fund Act, Fiscal Responsibility at the hand ye medano, unim dientia. Obi ntimi nkoye Cocoa Board CEO, ECG CEO no moka no boka wia. Yama man for kutua labela ne boedin. Mr. Speaker, by the time I be and Revenue Administration Act 2016, by the time all these acts shall be amended and reviewed, no, every loophole and a baby no, you be corrected the chat to okran. Aban bi oba, we're reading the budget for the very first time. Already budget and one fat to 4 frama. Number 2 was scrapping nuisance taxes. Sabana maya who say. And the previous government had a lot of wastages. Today, Sankame Tumia,
NPP gets
Yebe Tumia, yen introduce a course in public finance management called Forcenomics. Mr. Speaker, Forcenomics is a term, is a branch in public financial management in Ghana that seek to clear nuisance taxes, do not introduce any new and bring a breather to the people. Ghana Nina no ye hieni no complaining say COVID levy new, COVID-19 levy new, betting tax new, levy new, emission tax new. 8 years complaining MPP and Tiomo. NDC about the less than 90 days I implement here. I can tell you say NDC is a go-getter political party. Say ne and now they share now join the political party here. Brother Braka NDC national headquarters. The party card because NDC think about the less privileged.
Right, but that's it. Now you are just passing through. And in the coming days, you be the home come more questions in the answer. You baby a source of funding. Not coming per se. You one after the other.
Precisely.
But you better baby. That you this outcome.
Internet games have become my discharge.
You are discharged. You have a canning in our bomb bank. You for free education. No, precisely. Dedicated funding, no, every free for free education.
Free education, Maakye say on capping of Ghana Education Trust Fund. I've told you, into Ghana Education Trust Fund, no, MPP are buying now or cap. We are going to uncap it, so it will make money really available for free education. And free education, no, yeah, baby, year far superior, better than the MPP.
But I say, Bernardo Drotechi, a member of the NDC and a chartered economist, speaking to us, and pay Kwame Appiah Kubi, 30 minutes after 8. Hi, Kessben. My message is in no Emra 055-0567-929 055-0567-929. Now what the messages no ediaba yabeji na yaken kind in adiama. Mr. Speaker, we are live on Kessben television on channel 364 on DSTV, GoTV channel 121 and afi oba digital free to air so unya live ewo Kessben Plus no eso enti anope ma yena wase for your time once again. Now we're having a big conversation around the budget which was ready yesterday by Ghana's finance minister. We'll break it down bit by bit and then you get to understand. Baby whichever woman no na wetimi ama ye ho but mabedwafo no nso aba mamenkoye adwuma emra ewo obatampa asoye womo de eba no prostate related challenges womo eyi no edi free hokra pacho opese yetenete ede mawa anopei baby esese wo kono eye Fifi Pratt last stop na wetimi akọ kaswa nyinya no main road ne so obatampa ebeyi ni nyina no e de free ho ama ba mema of awards na chi na mema na kwaba over margin
ya me de
na empomo boko de
me adum na munso
erade de yankwa achele ma mentio na yeni nkomo emfiri motena ye na no peminim se mo bie mo puno acho ho enti adwuma akoso
anopedi echia ne adofo omaje mre echie en ehwe Kessben anopedi said there yin anim no obatampa protest center yadwuma ne se hwe protest ade nko a enu na yankopon adom ya ma he ama ye ho aduro a edi tu yade na se de yin anim no ntisa na pemi wo ha na enu ho asem na enu ho nkomo na ye ba bedie and the ten say protest yade a ye mema nkwa na ye omo titru mema edi be se 40 years eko na ano no ye ka prostitute a eye hunam akwa bi a ebeta ejunso twa no ho na anumu na dodo ban a ejunso kọ ye bema mu no enam na ngopon ye mama because ewo ejuma bi a edie ne ejuma edie ni se oba ne bema hia sa suspense no eba oba no ho eba bema ne bema mu eba kọ oba no ho a prostitute ni nso bi boa suspense se de be ye betumi nante ama no hwa akọ ayi de djuma se de efata enunti emema nkwa na yankopon bo ma ye na sa honam akwa no ene honam akwa ho npadue mu a ewo ho a no atumi hono ehono abo frɛ no enlargement na ehono a edinsusu pi na ma nipa nsusu kra wi ko wi se ebetumi agye nkwa afunsam na nsusu edi kampa ne se bema wadwun so pi anajo se positive no ho na mo adu so pi anajo oju ekutatu aso saa bedu baby no afese junso kan na se wa ma ho anya ha na oju so agu ho nti se oju so kan wa se tempa na se otumi junso instant no a ana so se ewumu a junso kan na ko jansa oju so a ebe family kakra ai se de junso mpese eba no be chim kakra san junso na ba ewumu a ojunso a junso na ahonde ewo junso na chie nka se ede junso na ba no na swate ne se binume ka se pressure de achire no akofom ewumu a behwe na junso kan na se junso wetua kan Kessben wonti se junso kan nso na ojunso egu ho ana so se betuma ma osisi ayo ya o mama sam betuma akofom betuma ma ojunso boja na saa nsunsansu we ina no didim saa bedu baby no na fe na ojunso na kawaya so one day udakro be so ojunso na ojunso na kawaya se na esese edo hospital na show roba na saa ya de we ya de bi a abofo nse de ni ho aduro a tu ase o hospital edu a ho ma abofo aye a de hwe no tamsulosin hydrochloride ana finasteride sa ya edro menu de ene se manage junso no a ema wojunso pi no nti se wokọ eba ne sa ne se wo pentam ko hospital sa ya de do ne ma de ma wa enu nche se etu ya ye na se relax muscles na wo bladder no ne prostate gland no mu se de be ya wojunso na wojunso pi no eden asobete amna kofom tu ahwe ni obejunso ya ma wadu am ho ato ho nto prostate se abubu no baka se shrink ya uti yare na se because kase na aye nti etwa se eden ajuju ba form ansana na hu aduro de eni hosa enu aduro ena na nu nyankopon aye madoma ma mu aduro a shrink prostate na aye kase no ama sansusu so amobodi ni na no eden aka wo no nti se wonum aduro no a de ene se ajuju efensen prostate na aye kase no ama ni sin kwanda dam afi na junso na ojunso pi ni nsusu mabodi ni na yen ni na afiro na chese yade waden etu ase na mama ye batampa process center edem sonko because most of the time when you ba makache no be did as eba obuka tumbu sam say doctor na yade we yen sunsumu yade na ma hwene dima busan ma hwene nin aka chense da be sunsun because me say I didn't know busan I say o started mo chinchin be wa be bebre anu no mdo bebre so ya de na den se enko ana ma che ne se ampa ehun aduro ani ho simple sa na we na enko pa mo adom a ama maduro a me de hwe abanfo nti wa ba ha ho beto ampa so mama na aduro beko no na aye adansidie na anije nti de kakra metumi aka ne sesi ane se obi biala wo sa tibe se nsunso ma bobo din se wo ta tibe man se wa hospital ya scan no am so wo prostitute a man ko ba bia pamachi akwan man yen onitifo ankoka se bia o ene yanum fo no aba omundo omo anu de ejiji nkofo sika niti madwin se bia saa so na me tie da bi wo ba makachi a mamu aduro ya mi adom wo beto ma positive na Kessben be twetwen amna bo we need to oba be test o e be scan e machines wo e be scan we scan wa wo be meka result na akire me mu ado kono mba so a e be scan wo be hu so positive dey abafom entino menye akofisam bi na medi no krepa won ye be makachi ne nim saa no kro ya meken ti sa wo sa ti bi nimu a man ko ba bia pamachi akwan de bia meka se obi wo prostitute na obi wo prostitute no obi chewe o chemi mechi akwan a achade kase pa obetumi da ma wono no because enye easy sa so obi nya obi a oso prostitute duru a dudu no kase prostitute duru enye edoni ejeje adwodwi efense udwonso ana adwodwo anu but so prostitute be shinke normalize the bi ko bra ba manche obi kwa oba onu akwa ni test baby no oja ba oba mi say okay na mama na do ko ba ya onu asan ko test me ka sofu bi oba na onu ne ba ye nurse ndo on ba no omo ye scan ne ba ye oba na me hwe scan no so okay 148 centimeter cube inside ne Kessben no and I'm so okay man do ko ye da krom wo hwa oba oni nuanu mi ka doctor sofu no ho aba omani age oba am so omo madu no wi no ko test ye no aba 98 na che se eba form se see papa no last time oba wife entino o me tasa me kasa me wo positive duru a me kasa me bo kan with the conviction say no krese me duru a me support to no what me kan men town twama yade no endodo enkwanimu bebrebe ansa na waba what me kan yayi to anamona bra oba wo beto me number ye 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 ensunsu na me wo your friend saying kaswa yenya no kaswa yenya no kan kwantempon no so ba bi di 50 prat last stop oba wo beto na se me ka mo obi ata se post to no yade ada form yade ekuni papa eti se na de me hunu se esanse hu adu ni enye eni ho saa ni ntino se post start wa ati se de wudini atun etuo e so so opo otuo wotwu mutan obekun because yade no wo be chinchin a wunya anu aduro de yanti de man de bia me ka se obi so opposite do chemi oboa e na bia me ka se Africa omo yi nipa 3 opposite aduru a meka ho bi because aduru etumi sink positive ma normalize there enye that simple since wotimi nkan yen se bia me de manu na kan se me check keke me kan ni bi so se wo ba ho beto unu fiewura bi ana papa bi una na bi wadanfo bi unua bi so Saturday tibemia fam no ma no 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 na fa no ma no se sia ye wo branches ye wo no agents Kumasi
okay
person de Kumasi ni Western region no ma Kumasi no ma ni 0249 another 49 61 66 0249 another 49 61 66 the Western region no manie 0246 04 34 58 0246 04 34 58 obi anfa sa no mensam da mamu na obi a wuti so obi wo sa ti benum a esi akwa se esanse yade ni aduro sani ntino no do na wo ho a yade no edokro omo a omuni boafo ti wutime nka phenomenon mo bia unim so wo sati be ni mu se de be ya be boa ma dasa a wo sati be no be film because yade ndi kodewo pa nti se wuti wo sati be ni mu a men fen dia fo fen tutufom wutime nka bra na wo ba wo ho beto wo ba be test o amodro wa wo tun se wo start do no na wo be hu se wa wo beto wo de mu se wo nya ho to nti se na ti ha na
Go TV channel 121 and free to air and pay unya your live Kessben Plus. So thank you so much for your time. Now your numbers 0550567 929 0550567 929 and no any numbers are your day a year Juma no pay and budget nenya but let's hear from you or consensus or major na afi yanshe say the abani nyina no or share any expectations no if they were met na yeni ho enkomo na Krobia Sante a member of the New Patriotic Party, Deputy National Communication Director for the party. I don't pay what I say. Incoming National Youth Organizer. My friend, no one can help me. Krobia matching.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Speaker, I'm just a buru.
Na BBI boko there.
Nyamiadaro ma me hoye pa me hu na che.
Abisha say won you hear me.
Da bi mini ano say no I will say kasa na aka chem say na onumfa. Me da nyamia say ma beto apomdim.
E da twedi ampas.
Me ba so hu honorable enu na me ne wo NJTV. Wa bre wan so yene nansa ene odi 70 years.
Oh sir.
Ti enu amene honorable ne NG crew ni nyina celebrate o na
eno you mo drinkwa.
Enyumre na disipoku na ni age saa anopa me sure say o Kessben so.
I see.
Nti no so be celebrate.
Eno you mo drinkwa wo me nyame nhwa.
70 dey enye easy.
Enye easy kra.
Mr. Speaker.
Onia.
Ensem ne doors until some shase. Already me kram hu honorable ha me ngwa because
mama nchia no mo e mama nchia unia no
ma ka na betra ha dey that means nka propaganda man we ye nka no ano and now say the honorable but now say honorable me prepare ma beauty ne wan kan ye ni bia no ma ye da
beauty no twam keke enti mama Emmanuel I don't think I should about 2024 parliamentary candidate of the NDC and also Tium constituency. What are you
I think I made you so.
Now then, where you made
Charlie, and you
where you made
you say campaign. 2023, 2024 there. Campaign by Edim Panty.
Why you
are? I say me reduce radio now. Me focus on the ground.
Very well. But constituency is the same party.
Nyamiadom, Bibia Koyi, Nyamiadom. Now, me say Krobia cry to me hono. But was it time election time never na or 2 years and all you votes in free.
But you know, one to my have report to constituency.
MP.
What's it?
Alote one cooperative with me.
I see.
I'll cooperate with me, and I was very painful because I saw him several times.
Oh.
Honestly, because I was campaigning for you.
Fetch me.
I had a call from Dr. Tobin. Okay, I said I'm making the posters once and Kwame. Because I said that Alote is the only person that I see him in the night our campaign.
Yeah.
I said it over and over. Dr. Tobin called me. Adumaku Kisi called me. Adumaku Kisi called me. Amana Madam. He called me twice. Dr. Tobin say me NPP ni and I say me neutral person and I'm NDC the main country. And I may say, and yes, I may dear me who na make us say, who post a crabby more, ye be election, who post a crowd. Balote was there. And na Juni Nanam who salote could pay. Alote baby or two who na minimum. They make a say.
But be frank with you, the Fachemi. But I can't recall say many ACI.
Oh, you share several times. But who comes Alotena or because you said that pressure the doors. Nipa na many year Akim.
Okay, me because you organizer.
Organizer, you to organizer. Akim is a brother from Kumasi
to the.
Yeah, I know from Kumasi.
Election
I saw that you win.
6 months to election. 6 months to election, not pressure.
Na grow be ade.
Yeah, can I say
national champion no me ba. Elections na MPP adwuma pa ye wa nya so munti no. Ya wi seat. Ya ka nyina court na
me ba na budget no.
No me ba.
Budget
3 seats.
Speaker. Tema yo dia. Forcing
or budget no me connection I want to youth organizer for because na yin ka youth no say na budget no say fa
baba Kwame e so to do for ma alote
wa ye
municipal MPP ayo so to mu no eti wo no tra say
o municipal
MC that was one person also
person don't they have
or corporate agencies
oh that be one man MC
no so
appointment crutch
alota only good books of only Julius good
I hear Juma papa
only Julius
for 2 years so baby anamit
crop there ma bin tia
there is more information minim
information
and then this you know who need Julius no line no wo pa wo Jesus Christ bakora
wa bin tia
na ukoti wa say me Julius good Julius Meba, a chief of staff for the entire country. Or Sansu NDC grassroots. Or Sansu NDC. Maybe say no. Mashani several times. He doesn't have any issue with me, and I say party Libya or Bujmano. Now say I don't say Kakraka. Only say so far no. John Dramani Mahama or the president say. It's supposed to appoint about 6,000 people.
Yeah.
Only 1,000 people. And he said, "Yet name by I don't just say Ebia
Emma
or Julius has issue with anybody or Pobiasen. Me come election say me name in Crawford year 2020. We were with him Oboy Emma Eska Epushi. Ya call about 16 of us a year call last election. Yes, and we need you. Say you call into Mobia. But I believe say they are arranging things.
Okay.
Why?
Very well. May I say?
National youth organizer.
Dr. Ramsey Achenna. Good morning.
Speaker, me ma marching.
Me Joshua na eti say.
Nyame adom me hu ye na hu say akwaba.
Me Joshua.
Akwaba.
Me hu ye.
Me de say me hu say waba.
Oh say.
Apomode no ejina ho kintin.
Radiado.
Wa me fa anopo we enchia menua fo kremofo ni na motiga na omo ekọ de we omo ye Ramadan na me so sa mencha yeria Honorable Alan Kojo Tromante any movement for change for ni na mencha menua fo mo omo betina ha Honorable de anya so to so say my second home apart from my also west anya so to ye juma opa but well oh yeah any my dear friend diabolic and to them you can maybe obey mu as time goes on yo ziga me mama machi
Very well, Madam Wasi, gentlemen, thank you very much. 33 minutes after 8. Now, budget no home common na yebe the measures here the free crobia. So crobia, mamintio simedu na mentio on the budget and draw budget number na as a finance minister, former finance minister, Ura Minandam. He was so quick to respond after the budget said, I mean, betting tax Ukraine they are buying no implementing. But I mean, it turning out to be falsehood.
Mr. Speaker, 10 will not be enough. Already no. In BOT say or a member of the NDC communications team.
BOT they now will
I'm on 30 good minutes.
Remember BOT 15.
Many honorable veterans. It's almost 10 minutes. MPP is the biggest opposition party in Ghana.
A panel discussion.
No, but Ghana for interesting. Oh, don't worry. Because I mean, there's a court. I can't say we know. I say you might now start. And the question is 10 a.m. more. Every quarter. Meet BOT from start to finish. But as usual, the normal propaganda names are pre-singing and ogusu.
My microphone.
You see, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
In Ghana, for you know, pinging TV and radio, equity out of forcing. Now you free say Obabe can't assemble Papa be actually Ghana for because NDC during the campaign almost share Makumako 273. Now, but then I go for my budget statement, you know, or my boss now almost share, you know. Items are almost raising our budget. It will not be up to 15.
How?
We have done the counting. But say but what share 273.
What I count now, it means what?
Don't worry, I'm coming.
Yes.
And yeah, the minority, the biggest minority, the mighty minority. Yeah, declare NDC budget as settings budget. Unim settings.
Settings budget.
Yeah, because it will be a settings. I don't say. Azan, Frakadam, Robin Peter to pay poor. Budget, you know, a complete Azan settings. Mamma Bako. NDC catch the Ghana phone and say, Omube establish Women's Bank. Mebwa.
Exactly.
And the Ghana bank capitalization. Open so establish a bank in Ghana. You need 400 million. 400 million. That excludes fixed cost. Or banking offices. Assets near there. So if NDC is coming to tell us assets aside 51.3 million for the Women's Bank,
is it 51 or 100 million?
51.3. 51.3. Eye frakadam, eye nada, eye atro, eye kushie. Clearly, no. Just ask Omodada Emma Okroma say they will appoint 30% of Emma, and look at the law affirmative action. 30% of Emma in their government. Now, Omo announce 19-member cabinet no. Emma womu yenu. We have computation now, just 2%. Sorry, 10%. So clearly, NDC budget is a budget, a settings budget. Yefa eno nkotun chain. And the BOT said the SC been see that. I mean, some another azan omoye. Ato force be catch and say omo abolish taxes. Bia obobo so. Mr. Speaker, technically, in practical terms, budget me I taxes me no. And the NDC are abolishing. And I'm giving it to you. The Edika E levy. And I'm abolishing. And a 1.5 withholding tax on small scale mining. And I'm abolishing.
Unprocessed gold. No?
Yes. And I'm abolishing. But I'm making a crunch now. I took force in free so with me at Ghana for. Who could read session 141 of Ninsem Kaina. And I want to read it. Or see, Mr. Speaker. We will abolish the 10% withholding tax on winnings from lottery, otherwise known as betting tax. Mr. Speaker, Ghana Emra establishing the income tax. Over the income tax amendment 2023 at 1096. A proposed 3 taxes. First one a 10% sports betting tax. The second one was 20% gross gaming revenue, and at the third one here 10% withholding on lotto winnings. Obakaya, this 10% withholding on lotto winnings nearby no. A brand at that time no that National Lotteries Authority Samia Uku and were MP Mercury appointment of Mechiano Supremo. Eba beka say abano eyenhwe han na omo ye omo adwe so mbete sa 10% na business lotto business nebegu. I have even cited letters petitions from National Lottery Authority, management, including the staff body. Actually, the finance minister at the time says, "Oh man, careful, no more implement this idea now." So there are two things: it's either Ato Forcing is trying to throw dust into the eyes of Ghanaian youth, and answer or person who are smart or tries to be smart. Ato Forcing needed to come clear. Say NDC campaign no. Both Dr. Baumia and President Mahama can say, "Omo ba abaimua, omo be give a friend betting tax in every anameboa."
Yes,
that is the 10% betting tax. That 10% betting tax, no, is different from the 10% lotto winnings. The 10% betting tax, it was implemented. I knew I'm not a bet any idea. Didn't super bet one bet any idea. No, would you bet na from the income, no, from your betting winnings, no. But the lotto winning, no, the though it was passed, but I implemented. For instance, emission tax. This was the very tax out. President Akufo-Addo announced I call Parliament on pass here. Nanabi, the national organizer of MPP. A lot of public pronouncement against it. The MPP as a party, both the general secretary and the national organizer, and the party at home, as a whole enyina eka say Mr. President this tax the all the bar Ghana for any year about to him that emission tax was never implemented. Then again VAT on vehicle insurance. Sa tax in it was passed, but it was never in Opabusobi Okotra VAT. Say Otua Etobia a friend of VAT what insurance vehicle insurance. This tax was never implemented. So in actual sense, NDC taxes mean no.
So if you say it was never implemented, implementing agencies, you say GRA, woman taking steps to implement and now abandoning the car saying you're suspended because I mean once it is passed, the expectations are that as I say taking effect, right?
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
There were a lot of NEMA parliament to me pass it, but Abano can say a different implementation. So at the end of the day, to my best of knowledge and the records available, actually clearly say if Atofosin comes to tell me say are there any financial you be a burden on me, I am not paying for it. Also my be year free. It does not have any financial effect on me because the thing I'm not paying. I get to the point. So I am saying that technically two taxes now. Only 2 taxes anyway, you know. These are the new taxes NDC are impose on Ghanaians. One say mining company tax no. Now 1%. Now they got 3%. Meaning some the 2% above account. Do you know the effect of that? Do you know the effect of that? What do you know? Budget, 2%.
Because I know my introduction of any new.
No. Mining tax now 3%. It was 1%. Take your time. There be a ready document in Armenia. So I'm saying that we are not the one who produces a now 2% from the account. What it means in say, and now Osha Ghana mining sector no contribute to ye palma and now companies are. They are into proper mining, mining, and what it means is one way I don't want to be workers. Almost suppliers I would want no and they will be cutting down their expenses on supplies. Would you know almost at the I extended a special import levy no. Who's a special import levy no? I don't know can say as also a friend say sunset or say sunset clock. What you say? Meaning say these are short-term taxes. Taxes are any long-term, any permanent. Like for instance, special import levy. It was supposed to have expired in 2025. Now the NDC is saying it's extended tax to 2028. So it comes in a form of a new tax to Ghanaians. And then the taxes from. Obakaya, Mr. Speaker, 2017, the first budget year and the MPP administration and another danko for the year about me I present here. Yeah, abolish and I cancel taxes maku edunso, and these taxes were taxes are what direct effect ever Ghana for so. And then him say and non-life insurance in be taxing 1%. Meanwhile, Ghana house insurance penetration rate and it is below even 1%. Ghana for him now they have interest in buying insurance. It's insurance sector and share to white red and black now their source of livelihood is in danger. Because already insurance and the top. It is also the taxes were to so what you are telling them and they say rather no and they work on commission their source of livelihood is threatened.
Now, Mr. Speaker, I say what more the levies there to insurance so.
Non-life insurance 1%. Mr. Speaker, non-life life insurance. Mr. Non-life insurance level 1%. You can check it. You should not laugh. It is there. Mr. Speaker, we've taken our time. We've interrogated. Now let me go back to the taxes I hold MPP in 2017. These were taxes what direct bearing on the condition of life. Emma Ghana Nibia. You abolish the 17.5 VAT.
Now we see for Mama.
17.5 VAT on real estate. Number 2, you abolish the 17.5 VAT on selected imported medicines that are not locally produced. No. Wagana ha. Would you know to you abolish the 17.5 VAT on financial services? Number 4, you abolish import duty on the importation of spare parts. You abolish. Number 5, you abolish 1% special import levy. Number 6, you abolish 17.5 VAT on domestic airline tickets. So Bekaya. You abolish levies imposed on Kayaye under NDC 2012. Almost to the extent say Kayaye fo nyina na ye jom to. MPP aban ba ye yisa Kayaye, which has direct effect on the livelihood of Kayaye fo. Would you not to Mr. Speaker? Yes, I reduce import duty for all goods excluding vehicles of 50% and vehicles by 30%.
Okay.
Yeah, but say taxes no. Mr. Speaker, mako edunson. Yes, I reduce national electrification scheme levy from 5% to 3%. You reduce public lighting levy from 5% to 2%. You reduce special petroleum tax rate from 17.5% to 13.5%. Mr. Speaker, so clearly, NDC, Mahama Eye campaign, another message. I'll catch you and say, Obe running lean government. Lean government with this budget, total appropriation 2024 MPP total appropriation was 250 billion. Where total appropriation is 290 billion. Okwa office of president, Mr. Speaker, abayno. One say Yabeka Chile say President Mahama indirectly no were appointing over 100 ministers. And the NDC regional organizers in your presidential staffers. Technically, they are deputy ministers in the various regions. And then Mr. Speaker, Okwa office of the president. Yenya almost Akufo-Addo running a bloated government. Abanye bi mada. Akufo-Addo budget for the running of the office of president 327 million Ghana cedis. NDC for you almost running lean government a year 2.7 billion. 2.7 billion. So at the end of the day, say MP because a budget put together a settings budget. These are some of the highlights, mama. Now me this a Ghana for 18 or might be din community in chino. Ebetiasie budget na you read no anything sports. For the first time in the history of Ghana, finance minister biabe general parliament, as other sector ministers no be the budget, e can the budget once. Is that the practice here? Is that the convention?
Mesa ba osubiem na enkomo ya ye especially with the issue of the taxation on gross gaming revenue and winnings from the lottery operations. We also say, I mean, more operationalize the implementation no anshas here. Krobia me wo the Ghana Revenue Authority, okay? Practice note. You can practice note. What it means is say you pass a law at the taxi biba. The commissioner for the Ghana Revenue Authority, the practice notes at the bar so that obia tax person, officer, tax now. When you pick the practice note, you are able to know how taxes anyhow it operates. And this is what it says. Practice note on taxation of gross gaming revenue and winnings from lottery operations under the Income Tax Act 2015 as amended. And we a date was a practice note number DT Lottery 01/2023 dated and issued on 5th June 2023. Okay. Now, this is what the practice note is saying. Purpose. I say, following the many years of engagement with operators of the lottery sector, including casinos, sports betting, and route operations, taxation of lottery operation has been significantly reviewed by the Income Tax Amendment Act 2023. So this is the act omo operationalize the deductions.
It does not mean I'm saying that it was never implemented. I was thinking that you were going to give me a speaker. I was thinking that speaker make a two. What kind of speaker so I lot of one say yet tax no. Now speaker na me the manusi last one. Me the manusi no. Oh no na me the speaker the manusi no na me the manusi so oba mutina me yedin. Me born the tough ani nyina wie no. And NDC speak I say budget ni progressive budget we retrogressive. 2024 yen total GDP growth was 5.7 and then NDC projected 2025 4%.
Okay.
And you retrogressive.
Me da say aloje babintio.
Yo, Mr. Speaker, mamifa kwanya we nchia ahwefo nyina na menchia ya wo studio. any anyanso tumfo nyina na mesenchia ora John Dramani Mahama anope nyame hia no na nyame onka ne ho na oman nyansa ne adwen wo no endoso na minchia Dr. Atu Force so anope na Mr. Speaker on say sometimes a co-election
yes
ema ye add some maybe we kasemo just to please the masses nti I understand Krobia otherwise baby okay nyina no
and Krobia ye campaign
say campaign na no ye no nti is trying to please the grassroots. It's okay otherwise you okay nyina no masa there's I don't even know where to start from, but let me take it from this place. Speaker ohwe budget na enra Dr. Atu Forcing already here on behalf of Ora John Dramani Mahama no. Who say this is the first time yanya a very simple, straight to the point budget. Sebi yan disturb ya so with slogans and the jargons. Nothing happened to Ghanaians. Rather, we were made worse off in Ghana. This is the first time anya budget bibia ye kama bibia is straightforward, no lies. Yan policy near man to lie to Ghanaians. The past 8 years, they be na asempa budget na ye ejumapa budget this. Meanwhile, ejumapa budget to Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
But unemployment was beyond 14.7%. Oh, into Mokasano never link up with the Ghanaian expectation. But this time, no, Ora 24 said to Nibuansi, a kind ye, a Magana for where we are going with the country. Very simple, straight to the point. And I think so. Another thing now, Ora 24 saying a year on behalf of Ora Mahama, a very innovative. They say, the summary of the entire budget.
Okay.
Because there were no appendices, but the full budget in our parliament. Esa allow say for the first time, every sector minister allocations come and explain to the people's representative our parliament then defend the various items who you are, they will monitor you on the Give Me platform. Say I mean this is the best so far, because as a finance minister, you see 4 hours, then you are shielding. You are not the only person going to implement the budget.
Yes.
Only sector ministers, any department and agencies, leaders, directors, implement it. Health minister or Kasan say Yamanu X billion Ghana cedis. Now or the see chips compound or the tia or the say Senebeya or Nya. As a finance minister, you can track the person. Na Ghana for so then at tracking the panel. Now we are. Kessben. I mean, this is the best so far. Now say essence of PhD in finance or canning no say yeah. He said like what we saw in the previous years. Obit me now 4 hours no canning say he knows all. I don't know Ghana for brain and we Ghanaians are testament to this. Time I mean you kasano.
Yeah.
Okay, baby. And I say me I thought say just 3 months ago, Nyoka were put on the table as a verdict for the election. Ghana for etutiamu ya 1.7 million gap. So when you come here and you rehash all these things, I will say me I feel say you are rather retrogressing the nation. Because in your kind, and I say, yeah, but you 17 times Ghana for 18 Ghana for Eshemo. SM so much huge defeat. As in Parliament, we are 88. You check NDC into 2 still NDC for Edwards to. So I think say we should. I thought like by now we'll stay away from those things. Because Angosiaga. Now you actually how to go forward. But we are everything is on point. Say only be just stay off. Look, yeah, abolishing 5 major taxes. E-levy was abolished. Betting tax and let's you see the income tax amendment bill. No, go and check very well. Also, mostly we don't read the various paragraphs. There's a paragraph about 10% withholding tax on some elements. Number one, sports betting. You can the winner.
Yes,
number
even with
2
the practice
marketing
notes, you know,
promotions. Number 3 nso on lottery and all those things, you know.
So even when you pick the operation note now,
exactly.
So practice note no it define what lottery means. Remember, so that you get to understand the areas, you know. So I say definition of terms for the purposes of the practice note. Lottery operations include sports betting, casinos, route operations. Promote interactive games, okay, marketing promotions, national lotto betting, okay, and then private lotto betting.
Okay,
so all of these things are
so near Adam supposed to take Ghanaians and say ampa you can win but only betting tax pen a year because GRA Ebema report of how much they have collected from the betting tax before somewhere last year report you see in the betting tax you see, I thought say say you see take your time. The law now ya mendi no Emma 10% return on several elements, including sports betting. Ebia lotto dia no you did implement, but betting mu here. And I suppose say that 10% on all those items in including betting. Very simple. And say okay. Do you listed about 6 items in that particular paragraph for the tax, you know, you implementing only betting. But okay, say you want betting tax, then that's why I try to know. In true, I'm try last 8 years. Ghana got angry with you and gave you that massive defeat, you know. I thought say, now say yeah, ABS say you know, we sorry be and I hear you know we are Muslim fasting. At least join them. Because
Dr. Kobe
I don't see why we should go back to those some of these things.
Or no, your president for the Ghana Association of Sport Betting Operators.
Exactly.
Now he said, sir, in 2023, they paid an amount of 58 million Ghana cedis.
No. Or see, I mean, I say, Oman give betting tax. That yes, okay. I say, what you betting? And America say, in Trona, no. And America say, check it law, no. It's a column, it's a paragraph, and then listed 10% withholding tax on 6 items. And see, and na ye chemuno. Nti bumunka say 6, no. We implementing back up, but more implementing Yaka. Don't say,
I'm giving you information. Just I'll allow. You see, it's not as if we are only drawing much on. I mean, Antasem. Gideon Buako, a deputy rank in finance, or say year to forcing Ebebo Act Makomako Mube Siki amendment or parliament. 10. The award are working out of the 10. You can call any member of parliament. For a discussion, 10 amendments are music. 10 amendments are music. The very tax are establishing this conversation here. It was not. It was not.
No.
I'm giving you additional information.
Listen.
Our time.
Abolish here. You don't go and seek amendment. Amendment simply means that ABR tax we increase it, and I say tiso. So don't go and seek amendment. You can go. You are even worse in the situation. And I make us say, "Munja in Wow, I don't know. No, listen. I don't know. The major documents are ordered about there will be proper deliberations in parliament. They will go deep into it. If once I will no amendment simply means that you are either increasing or decreasing. And I say, would be count. So why are you bringing this amendment issue? No, and I make us say,
ultra tax.
If any say, na 11. No, okay, say 11. Did you see any document for amendment on the 11? And me said, did you say anything? So let's
talk. Levy has a whole act on
yes.
It.
So you are policing it. You are cancelling it. So
yes,
and when you say no, when you say you go for amendment. Yes, amendment simply means amendment simply no. I have a lot who can hear. Because Ghana has already passed a verdict of performance. And yet, I've told you, say, yes, stay away from that. Amendment now, Muji betting tax, or Muji 58 million. Report or GRA can Monka say other items and the withholding tax for lottery no and a 1 year. Ghana for Fanchemo. Now you name. I feel okay about say Omuyi 17 taxes. But Mr. Speaker, I mean, you know, I can say, Omuyi 17 taxes. They brought more than 40 taxes. If you like, I can list them right now with you. I can go through the 40 taxes I only buy. Muyi 70, the 40 buy. What have you done?
So stop going back. When you now see more kasa, and I can't afford to say Debbie, Mutanto don't you, Munko Trade, Munko sorry. So change. It's very simple. Okay, about the Women's World Bank. Say, you see, boy money 51 million. Sometimes I think say, Ora me nanta, me NDC, but me go from a school. No, I learn. They become my mentor on a particular sector. Yesterday he got it all wrong. BOG, Eshe Ministry Benasi, and Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Government banks, Eshe Ministry Benasi, Ministry of Finance. And you see me, man, will see capital 51 million. Say first bank now. You are talking about the minimum capital required by the BOG. Bank is and the Ministry of Finance. Almost say when they are done, Ministry of Finance will make allocation for their minimum capital. Capital adequacy ratio again, man. And they say you must produce for 400 million. Say at the whole total asset. Near when you say you can stand the shocks in the BBC. And that's what the can. Until you people should stop those things. Until no, I see from like Massa. Obio crap period in economics. You are speaking this way. It's completely wrong. You see 51 million. You see bank no. You start bricks and mortar, bricks and plates. Capital bank no. You not say operator. That bank falls under the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance no. Among your allocation in their budget. And Ora 240 is very innovative. Can I say every minister who budget no come and speak to it. Ebi obaho abeka say yes bank ni we are. Sikana yede man as a minister for me so no may use X amount at the tier BOG minimum capital for Women's World Bank to start. And Muhammad Rashi say 51 million and it's in that it's below the minimum capital to start a bank. No, you are getting it wrong. I want to say you see Rashi Ubeti.
Because bank nankas a law crebe established no.
Okay. And this 51 million is for all the laws, legal issues, parliament issues in your per office. Yes. Say here you use 11 million. Everyone talk in Konya. They say BOG $11 million just for chairs and tables. Time no. Who do that? And say Bibia, take your time because Sebi we party for 8 years. At the same time, intellectuals in Crawford more in banking and finance 8 years. Oh yes, sir. You cast a doubt on your period.
Very well.
And that is why I have issue.
Now we see for mama.
Yes, inti me okay about the tax. It's only one tax. You increasing from 1% to 3% in the entire budget. That is the growth and sustainable levy on mining. I don't know if it be incident of tax.
Okay.
So tax no. Yet move for no. You see, when you are bringing tax in, you consider the final consumer. Where a mining companies are more mining, no. And I mean, when you say in the extractive industry, no, we are losing so much. We are losing so much, and I think so. Currently, no report here say they are gaining more than 14% because of the price of gold air cost. You know, and I buying the growth in the air cost. I say. Oh, you have me 1%. You are shortchanging Ghanaians until me reach 1 to 3% to the company, which has nothing to do with the final consumer. Okay. And then tax incidents, here, and that is how you bring tax. Anytime America say budget, we are around Mahama through Dr. Tufosin Edebano, a budgeter.
Okay.
It has a lot to offer Ghanaians to stabilize prices, bring inflation down, stabilize the macroeconomic indicators. A bit BHM. Na Ghana for nyina mo de omuatom enti unu bibika munye din na yembo adwuma no
me da se crobia ma me call Dr. Ramsey so emra.
You need to set the record straight.
Also it's not true.
It's not true.
That's been you
honorable say
maybe also for the rebatters. Ma Dr. Sombra.
I was saying na intro
and having the first bite. Doc ma me bra was so na me ntio for
Simon. Mr. Speaker. Anra members of the Movement for Change. Tie Rora Honorable Kessben Atoforsen, Minister for Finance. Na idea ya made the pa ne say as ya throw away a great transformational plan mu the yellow book okay Yera Mahama or win elections no Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin at the crata we command and all catching some menua elections where they are called sebi no manya ba wanya but Ghana don't tino Ghana beko n'anim ntino wo de age me homa wei na adwen wo mu no a office e beboa wo no a guide wo no for adwuma and I okay say on record
Kessben
ye na first political polity ewo Ghana ha a ye release plan before even MPP for any NDC for the omo manifesto beto dwa Mr. Speaker onim sir
yes
entino adwen wo document we mu no bebre no gave birth to some of the ideas in the manifestos of the NDC and the MPP because we were the first to come out with a plan. Not a manifesto, a long-term developmental plan. Now, Oshe, yeah, physical space, Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin, the wisdom and economics, no. Oshe krata, nemo wa tro guide, sebi no, budget ya pass no krana. It mean who say, Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin wisdom nishim, all guided at to forcing.
Oh, Samu.
Of course. Because we call something nuisance taxes. E-levy or money buying. What was the purpose of the e-levy? Yera Oforiata, former finance minister. And I must say this that this is the first time in a long time Obibe presented budget on share white. Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Ramsey, I don't know Kadei.
There been I say I know the me say or share all white. Now about Bible quotation. Na Ngosiaga. Na Ngosiaga nti azana afanyo marking kano. Aza MPP for for 8 years. Hwe Mr. Speaker. O hwe e-levy na. Ena o hwe betting tax na omoyi akaboma. It would cause a loss of 3.8 billion cities. Yes. But Atufosin did something very innovative. Say obe allocate some funds from MIF into the common fund. Right? Obe reduce your tax refund no, from 6% to 4%.
Yeah.
That will save government 3.8 billion cedis. So to the maker. So this realignment no, is very, very innovative. Another thing me then say on capping get fund and then the NHIL levy. Mr. Speaker, Oshe a car ye educational sector any healthcare sector na a year ho. Na yera former finance minister Okoji $1.5 billion. He raised Dutch bonds by capping the get fund levy. Anamebwa. Na Oshe and then we have 5,400 plus schools under trees. And 90% of them are in the northern sector of Ghana. And then Ghana, Oshe report here, they say it will take 300 good years to eliminate all schools under trees. Into Oshe, sebi no. 8 years are MPP for Bedi or Oman way so no. Omadi abropa speaker.
Yes, Dr. Ramsey, with you.
Abai sika hodro busi omuboni na you have nothing to show for. Inti minu abetina no fefefe washe ni kaftan fefefe we. Well, but minu ba yembre ho ase enka ne kure. Propaganda ne de enye djuma. Because Ghana for no omo ani abiesisi a. Enti na omo bo omo aba pa aba na omo de bo omo de minim so omo be sori anase menim because omo bo omo ama omo akwahye fom na yera Amin Adam osi den be omo anje betting tax say mo anje betting tax why were you campaigning that you were going to scrap the betting tax mukita placard even miracles abaje etina ho eka say we are going to abolish the betting tax. If indeed you didn't pass it and you were not taking revenue from it. And I thought, sir, or your cremoni to send me. At least, what was the cremoni?
Probably actually not referring to a lottery winnings, you know.
Oh, but it's part of it's part of that aspect. Into unim de make Mr. Speaker. Into no men try and brush here the man, Mr. Speaker.
Men brush no, but Mr. Speaker. Assertion Akrobia,
Mr. Speaker.
That is what I'm trying to.
I have it
bring
here.
You up to
GTV yesterday. Amin Adam, there was a caption. We did not receive any betting tax, or MPP did not receive any betting tax. I have it here. Sad or kind. But they were campaigning, said we are going, including their flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the former president, His Excellency. or say we are going to abolish the betting tax. Ni na Ghana for suye. Hwe Yero Amakwata repeal the road toll system no Ghana. He caused financial loss to the public purse because road toll now or repeal it did not go through parliamentary approval. And then I kasano oral report in the buyer no. You see the sika year figure na hano is more than $21 billion. Look, and this is what I mean. I don't understand about the NDC government. Okay, more by how many months ni? What are we doing about these issues? We need to expedite the processes of investigation and prosecution and retrieving these looted funds. Speaker, right? Inflation. At a point in time, inflation rose to 54% in this country. And do you know why? Omukoji IMF Sikano, 2020, and the World Bank for Sikano. They pumped a lot of money in circulation. They increased the liquidity in the economy. And economists will tell you that when you increase liquidity, right? When you increase expenditure, mismanagement, it will drive inflation. Now, monetary policy, no Bank of Ghana monetary policy buy no, raising high to almost 27%. The lending rates of various banks, right? Who got loan, interest rates was about 35%, and then Kasano is still there. How are you, Mr. Speaker? Including the MPP representative, or business idea, better than only Chinese for, and India for, and Lebanese for, almost Omaji retail sector and wholesale sector. How are you going to compete with them? And even some of the manufacturing sector in Ghana. How are you going to compete with them? Until the NDC for and say they should look at how they can bring down the monetary policy rate and amend the inflation targeting framework of the central bank. Neka central bank krana
someone said they'll bring it down to around 11%.
But they should even come to a single digit number. Well. Mr. Speaker, Oshe central bank na. And then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Adaroma, any Ken Ofoyata Adaroma, any Yera Akufo-Addo, or my Penidada Adaroma Intino. And then your central bank needs 53 billion cedis for bailout.
Okay.
Speaker, Speaker,
just 10 seconds.
Speaker, 10 seconds. What
time?
Hey, now me share clock no.
Mama 10
minutes. 10 minutes. 53 billion. 53 billion. And then Kasano, your central bank no more good. MPP for no good central bank. They have no moral rights to come and sit here to talk about the economy.
Propaganda,
right? May I say thank you, Dr. Ramsey Mayban and our friend Poziga. So now, my main fast than be Maakye Kubi do Herbal and Prayer Center. No pay one more daruma, one more a day a year. GD Herbal mixture no a day a bed drama. So no pay Pacho Utieme na a nay typhoid and a Hawadria. Yusu a year GD Herbal mixture. Afe utieme ayana unya severe headaches. Bacho as I say uyusu a year GD Herbal mixture. Ebeboa wuye. Joint pains, waposo ayana a year wo ya ye pa malaria ana hawadria. Nina no GD Herbal mixture no ana ebetu asiye ediama. Nkonim de Herbal mixture. Mpacho enonso ewo drama so o severe stomach pains. Also ana hawadria. Pebi na yusu ebeboa akle ni nyina no e de free ho afi we oba bosome so ampacho aya na oti pains pa irregularities a eba wo menstrual cycle ne ho nyina no anope esese we yusu nkonim de heba mixture ebeboa akle ni nyina se wo shaman a obekọ Ecus Pharmacy Repage Ventures ana afin so owo eye okanhia Hello Herbal obekọ no akwakọ GB ewo ho Angel Herbal ewo kanhie Kings Work Herbal ewo kanhie Madina ni suhum obekọ eye 20k Herbal na watimi akwakọ jode o man ni mu ba bia obenya eye kweku asiedo ninra wode abadwaman so pacho obefro mo on 0558639865 0558639865 na woni kweku asiedo Herbal for any enkomo na Eclipse Collateral Management for many winning command pay Eclipse Adaroma a ban credit brokerage and pacho one more edimo akotini ye pa and a collateral brokerage a year one of the expertise and pay utimia. This is the time say when you were more ebetimi edi and sawoswo oye bi obia oye property owner, you have a landed property our document in no ewo so and pay Eclipse Collateral Management for Adaroma one more edi a year o property document ebe ye adwuma na afi wo motua commission ewo ho eno achi no you trying very hard say obe secure a financial assistance and as a loan from any of the commercial banks but then only collateral no efie no kese pa no eya ha. Come to us na yebe assist you with collateral na afetimi aboa ma onsa account loan na open and open Eclipse Collateral Management for Adaroma and womo eyeni say obeko Adentan barrier womo eben Medimosis Hospital no very close to West African Senior High School womo war no and open speak to them on 0543 832466 0543 832466 na one Eclipse Collateral Management for any enkomo anopay na womo ebeje wo sopa oposi ni na dro no eye imbustable mixture number 1 immune system booster on the Ghanaian market. Afi utie syphilis, gonorrhea, pressure, and a hawadrin stroke, and as a severe waist pains, and a hawadrin. Imbustable mischendrono, ubenya bi ato eyusu, ebeboao, etu, wohao ninano, ase ede amount, and pay ma wonsan can be. From one more on 0246 208496 0246 208496 na only one more any enkomo across all the pharmacies and herbal shops ubenya imbustable mixture na wachimi eyusu. Mamin Kai was a Bayport Savings and Loans Adaroma. One more at the fixed deposit investment, no at the Abba Bayport Sebra. Na be a fixed deposit account for 3 months, 6 months, and I say 1 year. Now the interesting part, no ASA Bayport and no bet nase. Now one negotiate the level of interest ebeba usika so said ebeya principal no ebenya some level of interest. And pay umpewe na ope den call Bayport Savings and Loans branch BMO across the country na when womo any komo and what you know say Accra the national capital obeko kukumlimle ATTC school no chain na when womo edi komo edi a free ho and pay ukita 5,000 Ghana cedis and above whether you are an individual association or a group pacho ubetimi ameki an investment a very profitable at the amount and a free business with Bayport Savings and Loans and pay for one more on 0245 153283 0245 153283 and after 0263 007 922 na only Bayport Savings and Loans any enkomo anopay by Emra and Afrin Pon Ziga so na mintieno Government Bob
yeah Kwame we dey kitu abi nya politicians no normal politics Kwame ura I mean Adam or you be a Kwame wa won respect no na say be umuade and I say be a wonim no say nipa wo ya e be a wonim ne hidden life be a na wonim no pa de make what say be a wonim ne hidden life bi and witi na be a umu no obia buora I mean Adam is very clever, very knowledgeable person. Ubuadie ena onimdie oye. Ba kwa mitimi. Emra press conference no be. Bitie press conference over and over and over. Then I think that Ora Amin Adam.
Yeah.
Mr. Foriata, Richard Ahiaba, and Mr. Amwakwata, they need to not apologize to Ghanaians but NPP for apologizing to NPP. Kwame, they have cost the party dearly. I'm telling you. Ramin Adam, Mr. Foriata, former finance ministers, Mr. Amwakwata, former road minister, Richard Ahiaba as a communication director, Kwame. as a so more apologize to New Patriotic Party.
Krobia boss there, why are they?
Kwame team. President Mahama. Who tell me?
Me too,
President Mahama ask questions. Ebusa Dr. Bamia say.
Yes.
Yemusa Dr. Bamia. Oh, you remember that four questions? Bia. Obusa Dr. Bamia say.
During the campaign.
Say. Yemusa say a $10 about bedu.
Baby
Edu. That is 17 cities. And the inflation, every on 17 point something. I escalated to 53 point something. I said about 23 at that time. 15.4. Then Dr. Baumia came to reply that upon all the yeka was now, they are able to build agenda 111. Or restore nursing training allowance, teacher training allowance, on and on and on. That is a reply. Okay, 2. President Mahama said that me, John Dramani Mahama, the son of AA whatever Mahama, I will never cancel free senior high school. When he said that, Dr. Baumia swiped him, our northern region, said that they should go and ask him, say, why did he run advertisement against free senior high school? Remember that response? Good. Then President Mahama said it again that, look, I will never cancel the nursing training allowance and teacher training allowance. And Dr. Baumia say, Musa Kobusane say, den or cancel before Becca Sadin. As I saw my reply, I said, Uchebuchi had the quality or cancel Sadin. These are replies from Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And when Dr. Baumia speaks, all the communicators take it or you say along. Baby Obubekobiano, they champion what Dr. Mahmoud Baumia said.
Yeah.
Our radio stations, including Richard Ahiaba. Now, Kwame TV. Ghana Statistical Service for Omotema reports, thematic reports on 2021 World Population Census.
Yeah.
They have made us to understand, say, Ghana youth, net that time, 11.7 million, which was 2021. Based on this statistics, means that you are little over 30 million. They are getting closer to the half of the population of this country. And Mahama was running a youth campaign. Tell you, President Mahama was running a youth campaign. Okay. Then the youth campaign, President Mahama drafted a youth manifesto. On launching the youth manifesto, Kofi Ohene Konadu Auditorium of University of Professional Studies, OPSA. Or catch a youth on the 12th of August 2024. Or catch a youth and say, Meme John Dramani Mahama me buy the betting tax. Me can tell you, me buy me can betting tax. Bukom Arena, you remember that program? The Bukom Arena. Was that Shemu Kena say, me John Dramani Mahama me buy the betting tax in me can. Then President Mahama went back to Bono region or Konkwabin in Kwanzaa South constituency on the 8th of September 2024. Was see and will advise youth and say, Obecha betting tax, the 10% tax no idea to bet soon. Obey no advice youth and say, so much bet no. Omo and you so bet this can wisely because obey the 10% therefore. I'm asking, say, when Dr. Baumia was busy replying President Mahama, when we said that we implemented the betting tax, why did you reply him? What just American? This is very serious. Nipana didn't catch you to 11 million. See, me ba me try betting tax. But bet now, muka. In fact, or the cracky Joe's crown a Bukom Arena. Also, can say, jobs it be the best that we use to survive. It be the best small crowd they take tax. Nobody now budget. Yes. Why didn't you? I mean Adam at that time. Where were Mr. Foriata? Where were your father say Richard Ahiaba, communication director? And then the mama boncha because akwano obwa na Ghana ye implemented the betting tax. Kwame, what the wow loof? ama nipa de aye campaign de ati awie afa mo odi ye budget no aye propaganda afa na be ka kire yen say tie yo afa na be ka kire yen say you never implemented the betting tax. They say they should apologize to NPP people. Kwame.
Yes.
Mr. Mwakwata Abin Adam. They should apologize to NPP people. They have created a mess. I'm telling you, Kwame. There's no way I'll be able to convince me on this.
Okay.
There's no way. And you have a catch and say why implemented betting tax after your friend say a budget. What were you doing all this while when the legendary campaign was at its peak? Why didn't you speak? Why didn't you tell us that there's nothing like a betting tax? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Because you kept swiping President Mahama. You kept answering President Mahama on free senior high school, on nursing training allowance.
This was a major campaign.
Yes, Kwame. Now they have made it categorically clear. Everything that they said was in manifesto and rhetoric on TV and radio stations. But now that on one kasa kind of budget, me say Mr. Foriata any Amwakwata should apologize to NPP people.
Okay.
Kwame.
Kessben.
Roto Act 1973. NRCD 153 and the decreting Roto. Now Ghana Constitution Article 11 Clause 3. What share the laws of this country?
Yeah.
Article 11. What the Constitution, the Act in Parliament and the common law. What is common law? The common law are laws and existing laws. Laws at no yebetu yeni na still exist. Jamaica what I say. Ye kaka ho se eka ho. Enti Roto no a ye Act 1973 it's still in your fair say existing law I di aduma what then your neighbor one day then you capture in the budget say what can see Roto without giving us an tangible idea your fair say explanation Obeka say Roto no one was Emma fuel and confusion fuel tell you fuel and confusion meanwhile you did trafficking. One call parliament, one call Bibia, and then say they did never abolish Roto, they abolished it. Okay, 2022 budget. This is what Mr. Foriata said. Was say, Mr. Speaker, government has abolished all tolls on public roads and bridges. This take effect immediately. Immediately the budget is approved. Keno Foriata said while reading the 2022 budget to Parliament. Adia Chiena Ora Amwakwata Eddie release Babon say ya cancel Roto. Meanwhile so date no kwa no de buy no. Ne oma draft letter no kwa dada e da hodada. So my asking say Roto na utwam no. Tieni yo. Nipa na ti Roto no kwa be ayare for da no mutim. One ebi wo ho no mo wan ko school obi so anye wan su adwuma. One pamana mana akwa tena fie. Kwame uso baba ni compensation. Compensation okoje no wakoja ama omusa ministry of finance no wasa about principal chiromo edwoma kwakogum they need to apologize Kwame me say MPP for the cause of this ankofo echomo da they need to apologize to MPP people because all these people they voted massively against the parties.
It's a declining party.
It's
a declining party.
Speaker
Krobia meet you for 5 minutes on
Speaker, thank you very much. But me person me establish a point. Speaker, once now all mention of practice notes.
Yes.
Say TV license is captured in the practice note, but you implement it. Ghana TV license. So there are several.
There
are several things like toll tax law. Mr. Speaker, budget I discuss. Nyama mi no bi woman a very dangerous. I was here Ghana for a bomb abosu. Fourth quarter. Ato force ya catch as a fourth quarter. Ye baba betu to enyina munkane boom. But because of political expediency intino, almost first quarter, second quarter, 10 no mako boom. And the ECG a boy no enyina munkane and between 50%. It is projected say it is going to be increased over 50% already no yentimintua. Mr. Speaker, and another thing I say, Mr. Speaker, NDC John Mahama, Mr. Minuazi Gekasa, and the Kohuntin Trini, and the Niabri, I was say, Mahama campaign on youth, employment, jobs. 24-hour economy did not find any better expression even in the budget. Now, here, who need it? Unya omu full budget now, page 84. And let me read to you, page 84. Compensation of employees. This is on the full budget, page 84. Say, summary no SC69. Or say compensation of employees 477. Mr. Speaker, government is committed to reducing unemployment in the country through programs aimed at providing Ghanaians with employable skills in the areas such as agriculture, youth development, communication, apprenticeship, among others. In 2025, government will implement the following measures to keep the wage bill within sustainable levels. Fully implement the net freeze on employment. Fully implement the net freeze on employment. Now I say the about 2014 now. Almost total freeze ban about public sector employment. There's a repetition. And then we have babu. John Mahama the formula be by 3:3:1. Yes, scam. Clearly, no. Atofo goes further to say, fully implement the net freeze on employment by immediately putting on hold. All recruitments / replacement into the public service, given that recent realignment and collapse of some MDAs has brought about surplus labor. In this regard, there will be no extension of contracts for all public officers except in education, that is into bracket universities, which will be capped and done within budgetary constraints. Profiting tina ni atofo eba catch Ghana for mabunu say there is a total freeze on public sector employment. And this year by way ni omode ba ya Ghana for be di 2014 omanfa enipa adwuma in the public sector no atofo say enkofa adwene maso sa budget no samri na no ma shada de ato mframam eti full budget no tra anya ye no anya bia nkenkan na me wo mu say NDC the tabo abeto public sector employment so eti wo ye babunu na ye bedada na akoto aba ma NDC with the hope. What's the NDC? They are working contradictions. Now, in one breath,
Utien on the 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy in there. Yes, Cap.
Okache will say the proposed bill are ever for implementation and for rollout of that particular policy will come
to Parliament.
And the 24-hour economy can ban, freeze, total freeze on public sector employment. Whatever I know to China, I know a different discussion, Mr. Speaker. The American Tribune and Kessben and the Omutie radio in the say, and this is for the tabu about to public sector employment. And they budget Mr. Speaker, and they budget here ready. We are babu now to my NDC with the hope and expectation. Sir ubenya adwuma ya omo formula na omo de beda da mo 3:1 no ni atofo se ka che say no NDC aban the year 2025 omo mfa obi a public sector ye de ani bedi a kire say eye na ada say omo be kasa a kire Ghana fo no behind the scenes omo say omo nkrofo akọ good public sector ho a ye de ani be hwom Ghana ni ba bia say fata say onya adwuma eye
me da say aloje honorable bravo ba me da yenti
MPP for omo insada rolling sky.
Alas, they are making any budget. Speaker.
Are
we not discussing the budget? Project the finance and budget. Let me send it to you.
Can I talk? Let me talk. What can we then say? The hear me. Rolling sky or see MPP for there. They will never change you. The only thing they change is their name.
Then this so much
from UP number PP. MPP, the same character. But I keep saying, say, what can we na ya chetiamo? And then this is for 419, and this is for this, and this for this, and this for this. Still, like Ghana for say no, that's who you would do for Ghana for on social media. Say we would do for
because me
crop beer.
Now I want you to read it.
We would do for mo page 84. It's a coffee. And no problem. Ya. Still, you are on this thing. Speaker, on the 24-hour economy, no.
Yes.
Nyame shout pa. Ora 240 e kan ye. On say okan 2 laws we need to amend. That's the Labor Act.
Yes.
Very important. So we cannot just start and come and say we are starting 24-hour economy. The Labor Act has not been amended. Well, Labor Act is between 8 to 5 to work. Is that not it? Mm-hmm. Do we have anything like working in the evening and at dawn? So we need to amend the Labor Act. And also come about the GIPC law also. We need to amend those 2 laws. And some kind of say 24 free zones and GIPC and also kind of say with all this, the team in charge, they will bring it to Parliament for approval. Now you start it. Finance Minister can't deal about 24-hour economy. What can about the tax rebate, about the sovereign guarantee for loans, about the utility rebate. Those are the things that concerning Finance Minister. But the details as to what will be done is with the sector ministers. Like the Minister for Foreign Affairs said, the friend is saying passport 24/7 every day. Who apply 3 days you get it. It's a sector minister's work. Oh, so those are the whole thing. So sectors that are involved in the 24-hour economy, they will come and explain. That document now will give us the chance to refine the laws. Then you say again, there are 2 communities. Okay, about the youth. And now, already to forcing. I mean, I can say 100 million Ghana cedis have been made available for coders. And who are we going to trade for the coding? You to why are you stop what you are doing? Stop Jainia. Why can I foresee? And I feel Oxan can be about another allocation for agriculture for economic transformation, agribusiness, and also it's involved the youth. So what I saying say, and I feel hearing him say public sector employment, it has its limit. Because you can say there are so many people and more sector now, they are not really adding value to the work, And see, we should look at creating an enabling environment and farmer and business. But that is where they employ more. And not that you when you know everybody say agree for economic transformation agenda and no baby. So please stop near wo okay, biom say
I will now see for mama.
Yeah, okay, biom say the first way no can say under Owura Akufo-Addo Flagstaff House budget need am 300 something. Please go and check 2024 budget. It's over 2 billion. You can go check it over there. And you had several people over there. Look, so far, Flagstaff, Jubilee House, presidential service, 30. Felix. Only 30 people. Then 60.
First of all, alone 78 million. Compensation is 8 million.
60 ministers. First 60 ministers.
No, Speaker, I want to no, Speaker. You must set the record straight. I forwarded him to you.
You have to control
No. Speaker, set the record straight. Let me learn. I reference something. Let me learn. But my integrity is at stake. Speaker, would you read it? Would you read it, Speaker? Thank you very much. If you read that,
MPP, you have no integrity.
Very well.
My point is say,
expose him that it is captured.
No, official person in charge. A document appear. Honorable Felix. So far, in Crawford, we do more.
Communication alone, 78 million. Is it not in the budget?
In Crawford 30. Minister
allocation is not in the budget. So far, 78 million.
56. So what are you talking about?
But as a doc,
There is
Information Ministry was giving 10 million, less than 10 million. 78 million allocation.
Let's do me a favor now. Wrap it up in that
Speaker. When you are Krobia Kasano.
But set the record in straight.
Krobia Oma Menkasa. Menu Krobia Kasano. Menu Krobia Kasano. Now, I am say maybe he's running away from his party's philosophy and ideals. MPP has a capitalist, private sector driven ideology. Kasano, say government is going to freeze employment at the public sector. We have to ensure that we create an enterprise economy. That is what we campaign on, and that is what we will continue to advocate on. Say, the private sector should be there.
That's
a great transformational plan. Now MPP is a mono
what do you say is there? Just forgive me for me now was that me for won't see her. Me time national, mame answer so na me ko doc the lecture me. Mame for won't see be did the Kwame Appiah Kubi Dr. Ramsey and movement for change. Doc, just forgive me. The time now. So next week, I'll make you a good favor. Just forgive me for that. Probably have the time now. So until Nyame Adoma next week. I'm saying.
I think.
Read the page. No, speaker. That's not
recruiting ghosts.
Just read the page.
They were recruiting ghosts.
While human beings were home seated.
So, paragraph 470. Gentlemen, thank you. Me did the Kwame Appiah Kubi mame enda munyina ase na memfa wo NC ha. Sejo any team no at the midfield action no eba ababeto aso. It is only 40 minutes after 9. Ochina Thursday adom dom yenia. We'll be back once again. Na Yababa Besom, oh my God. We did the Kwame Appiah Kubi on behalf of my team. Thank you so much for coming through with us at Opay. Stay blessed. Good morning.